working for a lawyer for about 20 years. And I also used to work as a part-time lecturer, working in places like Hackney. I do home tuition, I do coaching. So as I say, you know, I'm the real deal in terms of like, trying to put something back into the community.
All the success, all the achievement you achieve academically, or indeed when you climb a sort of a greasy pole of your career, all success does is bring you to the start line of a different challenge. That's all it does.
That's a beautiful anecdote.
Whoa! Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the Rudi Lickwood Chat Show. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Antigua. How you doing, baby? Have you calmed down now? Have you calmed down? Have you had your birthday treat, your birthday month, should I say? That month went on for on your parties, man. They were brilliant, man. I ended up with bunions after going to the Windrush. Bunions, I'm telling you, bunions. I mean, I really put on shoes too tough, but you know what I mean? I had to put on some shoes for you. You understand what I'm saying? Antigua, I had to put on some shoes for you. Astrid, my babes, how you doing? Nice to see that you're out of the water. Every time I catch you, I catch in your stories. All I'm seeing is, hello, guys, hello. I've just done some aerobics. But I do catch you. Trevor, man, thanks for listen, man. Blessings goes out to you, Trev. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have this man here today. So I have to say yes. Thank you very much, Trevor. Big shout out, big kudos goes to you. Big kudos goes to you. What you saying, Antigua? Birthday celebration still going on and on. Wait, it not done yet. Me hear you. Good evening. This is a name I haven't seen before. Tawana, how you doing? Lovely to have you in the room. Thank you very much. Bless up to all the Rants and the Bants crew. I ain't seen Spice in a while. How you been doing, Spice? Evening, Rudy. Where's the YouTube link? The YouTube link is out. Trust me, babes, it's out. It should be in the Facebook. The YouTube link could be found on the Facebook. The YouTube link could be found in the WhatsApp. Shall I go and grab the YouTube link for you now? Are you guys gonna share it for me? Are you gonna share it? You know, I need you to share it, don't you? You lot done know that, right? Let me see if I can go and get that link. Get a shareable link. You know that I need you to push it out there for me. Right, there's the link, man. There's the link. It's showing up on YouTube now. I can see it showing up on YouTube, and it's showing up on Facebook. So the link is there. Yeah. It's in the chat. The link is in the chat. Didn't get the notification, though. You never get no notification. Just because you lock me off, innit? You dash me to one side. You go fight. You're using me like me is your side dish. You dash me to the side. You go Portugal and all them place there. You dash me to the side. Use me like side dish. Rants and Bants forever. Rudy, still waiting for you to join me. Me can't swim like a fish, you know. Me swim like fish, I tell you. Fish. Fish can't keep up with me. Jackie, how you doing, babes? Nice to have you in the room, Jackie. Long time, darling. Long time. How's the toothache? You sort out that hole in your tooth? Or you still walking around with like with the cavities in your mouth? Yeah, like you got a like how you got a little snack for later on. You're just digging out your teeth and finding a little extra food in there, sir. Oh my God, Verona's in. How you doing, Verona? I see Verona dressing up the other day, you know. She had on some leather, may I tell you? Leather. I can't remember who you were standing with. You was taking a picture with somebody and I saw it. And you had some, you had leather top and leather trousers. You was wearing some leather trousers. Yeah, all you needed was a whip. Shugs! Shubba-dub-dub. Shub dub ning 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 ning. Shub dub 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 dub. How you doing, girl? Wait, hold on. Are you lot? Listen, I'm not in your environment, yeah? I'm in my environment, yeah? I'm not in your environment. I'm in my environment. Kane Brown, so then you do know who I saw you taking the picture with. You see, there's another one out there treating me like I'm their side dish. You got to rub off on the other comics them now, innit? You got to rub off on them now. Me turn side dish. I saw no just treat me. Jesus Christ, man. I was playing a tune a little earlier on, for those who missed the intro, by Dennis Brown. It's with reference, really, to my guest, who you all have seen. Bad tune. Bad tune. Go on. Someone's got to represent us. And you treat him good. Claire Tong. I should have known he's got his smoker's hat on too. Shut up. Blessings, Julie. My Shugs is in the house. How you doing, Jules? Oh, you can't hear the tune. You lot can't hear it. Oh, you poor things. You still can't hear it. You lot can't hear it. It's loud, man. Go on, Jenny. Go on, Jenny. Goes every... Wait, I better take that off before Facebook lock me off, before them lock me off. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in the room. All I ask is that you like and subscribe to the channel. Please share it if you can. I would appreciate that very much so. I mean, all you have to do basically is to go on my page and just share, and it will pop up, as to will the numbers. Right. So let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. This is season 3, episode 8. This time round, I decided that I would look for somebody who will take us to a different level, really. We've had entertainers, we've had sports people, we've had authors, we've had publishers. I don't think we've had a comedian yet. We haven't actually had a comedian yet. I think I've got to sort that one out. What's that? Claire's going to send a pigeon. Shut up. Now, yeah. Send a pigeon. Is that what you're saying to me? I must send a pigeon. You're feisty, man. Listen, I didn't come here to be abused. I did not come to be abused about send the pigeon. Send the pigeon in her. Your Wi-Fi now work. Send the pigeon, Rude. The Wi-Fi now work. Nah. Yes, the gentleman that I would like to bring on is somebody that I highly, highly, highly respect for a lot of different reasons. More so than just the fact that he's on TV. I think it's a bit broader than that when I think about it. He's actually a doctorate of law since 2015. He became a doctorate of law. So please, let's give him a nice, let's make him feel nice and welcome in Mr. Shaun Wallace. Shani. I don't know if you can hear me. Shaun, can you hear me?
Oh, well, sir. You good?
Oh my God! Did you hear the voice?
I can hear you, definitely. Can you hear me?
You can hear me. Yeah, we can hear you, bruv. Your voice so deep. Even the whales that can hear you. The whales can hear you in the Atlantic right about now, bro. Whoa.
Okay.
So you're well. You're looking good, man.
Yeah, I just finished training and just did a bit of revision before I came on. So
You still training, yeah?
yeah, I do 2,000 sit-ups a day. Then I've got a rowing machine which I do in the morning. Then I've got a personal trainer. So
yeah, but I've seen your belly, you know. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it, bro. What's happened there? What happened to the six pack then? What happened to the six pack?
It's there, bro. It's there.
It ain't there, bro. It ain't there.
It is. Yeah.
That's a Watley's. That's a Watley's party thing you got going on around your gut.
You could use my stomach as an ironing board.
The thing is that you at one point I think you did a TV show where you ate junk food.
Yeah, that was awful. Yeah, it's called Junk Food Experiment. We did that in 2018. Yeah, it was awful. It was me and 6 other celebrities: the current culture secretary Nadine Dorris, Peter Andre, Hayley Tamadan, my good mate Tessa Sanderson.
How is Tessa?
Tessa's good. Yeah, she's good. Yeah, it was her twins' 9th birthday the other day, so I went to their birthday party to surprise them because I'm one of their biggest fans, or the other way around. So they was really, really excited to see me. So it was really, really good.
You see what happens when you're still on TV? You get those calls, innit? You get those calls. Tessa used to call me, at one point. Tessa used to talk to me.
I'll tell her to make sure that she gets in contact with you.
So she invited you round for her daughter's party, yeah?
No, she got 2 twins. Cassius and Ruby May. Yeah, it was their 9th birthday at the beginning of September. So they weren't expecting me to come.
Okay.
So I just turned up to the kiddies' party. So I was so excited. Yeah.
Lovely. So,
and
you're saying that they are big fans of yours.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Apparently, they love the chase. So I thought it was a nice surprise for them. Yeah.
Whoa, that's more than just a nice surprise, man. That's a big surprise, because the thing is that if it wasn't for Nipper, your mate Nipper, right? Do you think you would have been any good at quizzes? Really?
Yes, I would have been because I used to be really good in terms of playing Trivial Pursuit as a kid, although I've never beat my brother. And one of the most loveliest things which was said to me when I won Mastermind, when he found out I'd won, he gave me a big hug and he said, Shaun,
Go on. Wait, hold on. Something's happened here. I can't hear you. Shaun.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that, I'm so proud of the fact that you're the champion of the UK, but guess what? You're not even a champion of your own household. And if anything keeps it in perspective, it's comments like that. So, I was very good at quizzing. So.
Antigua has just now said to you, we will be the judge of that, Shaun. Show us your 6-pack, yeah, and then we'll believe you. Here we go. Right. How I said to me now? Where I said to me, go on, Charlie, John, I must admit, you have lost weight. You've lost some weight. I think after you did that TV show, right?
That was awful. Because I almost caught diabetes, and I had to continue my training. So instead of running 10 laps a day, I used to run 20 laps every single day just to make sure that I didn't put on the weight. But I almost caught diabetes.
Because they actually tracked you, didn't they? They actually tracked you.
And what made it worse, I mean, out of all of us, because of my height, weight, and size, I had to eat 5,000 calories a day of junk food. So the first week was burgers, the second week was pizzas, and the third week was chicken. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Every single day.
But that's not your ordinary diet though.
No. I don't really. I'm not really into junk food. But now it's awful. Absolutely awful.
Antigua says, "Whoa! Nice one, Shaun. Respect. 6-pack got me typing wrong." Oh my God! Because my thing is that with those, especially with those kind of experiments that they do, right? I think that our physiology is totally different to our Caucasian counterpart. What do you think?
You do have a point, I suppose, in terms of our makeup and our physiology, but I was determined, although to take part in the experiment and do what they said, I was determined not to actually really really suffer. And
Right.
Tessa almost got a heart attack because her blood pressure went through the roof, so she had to pull out in the end. And only 3 of us survived. I think it's only me, Peter Andre, and Nadine Doris. The rest
Yeah,
of them.
but even when I saw you do one of your quiz nights, your concentration was all over the place.
Yeah, because of it. And when I was doing the chase, I think I did 5 shows during the chase, and my concentration had dropped, although I only lost once throughout those 5 shows when I was doing the junk food experiment. So it wasn't too bad in terms of making sure that my mental acuity was more or less still intact. But that's why I had to really work hard in terms of doubling my training routine, my normal daily training routine, to make sure that I didn't get diabetes, because I was within the risk of getting it.
Whoa, I can believe that, man. I mean, we've got Leary who's just entered the room, and Leary's a fitness instructor himself. And he could testify when it comes to eating habits and the type of foods that we should be eating, especially I guess once you've got up to the age of 50 and your body metabolism slows down.
Yeah, well, I'm 61, so I've got to make sure that I eat the right foods, and I've always done that, really, to be fair. To make sure I eat the right foods, and because the one thing I'm conscious of the fact that my mother and father, they both got diabetes, and my dad sadly died of motor neurons disease, and my mum got Alzheimer's. So, I think that's sometimes a testament to modern day living, right, in terms of what we consume, what we eat. Sometimes we do live a sedentary lifestyle while simply not moving around where we should. So for me, it was important, especially when I reached the age of 40, right, to try and maintain a sort of strict fitness regime.
Yeah, because the thing is that we're not really designed to sit down, really. We're designed to get up and move. But the lifestyles and everything that we do lead nowadays tends to put us in a situation where we're sitting down.
Sit in front of computers, and as I say, the sort of COVID-19 pandemic, and the strict lockdown made people far more sedentary and not exercising as much as they should. But so far as I was concerned, I was determined, irrespective of the pandemic, was to continue my training regime, because for me, my fitness and health is extremely important.
Well, we're going to talk about your fitness and your health, actually, because I mean it's an integral part of you from day dot almost.
Yeah.
But here's an image of your mum.
Yeah. Darling gorgeous Millie. Yeah, that's my mum. Millie.
Let's get rid of Leary. Let's get him out of the way. She looks fairly tall. Is that where you get the height from?
No, my mum wasn't that tall. My dad was fairly tall, but she just looks tall in relation to that image there. But she's going to be 91 on October the 23rd. So every day she lives, every day she's alive is a blessing for me. And my dad sadly passed away 7 years ago. And as you saw in my autobiography, I dedicated his passing.
Okay, so mum's 91. Jesus Christ, that's a good time. That's a good innings, man.
Yeah.
One of your brethren is bawling out to you.
Yeah, Trevor
White.
Listen, Whitey Goldfinger, I'm gonna call him, because he's a wicked DJ. But me and Trevor go back a long way.
Oh, I can believe that.
Yeah.
Because I was very surprised. I was extremely surprised to find out that you live in northwest London on Roundwood Road.
Well, I was born there in 1960, number 102. That was the first family home. Obviously, I wasn't aware of that as a kid.
Right.
Then we lived there for 3 years. Then we moved to.
But you were actually born in the house.
No, I was actually born in Central Middlesex Hospital.
Okay.
So on 2nd of June. 1960. So then we moved to 83 Purvis Road. So we lived there for about a year. Then we moved to the road where I'm currently living on. So I've lived on this road for the last 56 years.
Wow. So this is you lot back in the day.
Yeah, that's me in a sort of ill-fitting suit there. That's my family.
No. You're gonna say it's an ill-fitted suit, right?
Yeah, of course it's an ill-fitting suit.
For me, trust me, Shaun, I think this is testament to the way that the Windrush generation and our parents came over to the UK right? In comparison to the way that you see them with their bottom outside the door. That's why I glad when it called, you know. Me glad when it called, because me not see no bottom.
Yeah.
Me not see no underpants.
So as you can, so you can see there, my oldest sister Sandra, who's my mum's daughter, my dad Linford, who worked for Heinz. My mum was a state registered nurse. That's my kid brother Steve, who I love dearly. He's like you, a Liverpool fan. Okay. And that's my sister Debbie, who's 11 months younger than me.
So that means that because your parents worked at Heinz, that means
your dad worked
at Heinz.
My dad worked at Heinz. My mum was a nurse. I've got another sister, which is my dad's daughter, Rose. So she lives in America. So I've got 3 sisters and 1 brother.
Okay, so that means that your household must have been full of Heinz products without any label.
Absolutely. Yeah. I used to love those steamed puddings which you used to have. I used to love those.
Yeah, I remember.
And the sort of spaghetti hoops, spaghetti
right,
beans.
Yeah, but can you remember any of the codes?
No, of course not. No.
MS?
No.
Spaghetti bolognese.
Okay.
No, NO was spaghetti bolognese. Yeah. BV.
Okay.
Trevor, tell me if I'm wrong.
Trevor,
tell me if I'm wrong, right? Trevor, tell me if I'm wrong. BV was baked beans. Yeah. You couldn't mistake the steamed puddings, though. Couldn't mistake the steamed puddings. Did you guys do swaps? Did you do swaps with any of the families who worked in Walls or Sweats?
No, but I knew a couple of one of my dad's friends used to work in McVitie's, so sometimes we get
the broken biscuits.
No, not broken biscuits. We used to get
Shut up, man. You used to get the broken biscuits.
No.
You got the broken biscuits just like it came in a brown bag. It came in a brown bag.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Like he's posh, you know.
I don't think. No, we're going on like a posh. We didn't get that many, but we didn't used to swap all the time. But we used to get from time to time McVitie's biscuits, like the chocolate. I used to like chocolate digestives. Digestives. So I don't think so. No, I don't know about no brown bag. I don't know about that.
Yeah. This guy. Listen, man. When people used to do the swapsies, they used to come. McVitie's used to deliver them with brown bags, unless you were just given a packet. Maybe you lot were just given a packet. That was all.
Yeah, we were given packets. No, not about no brown bag. Packets. Yeah,
but in the brown bag, there was about 12 different types of different biscuit used to be in there, you know.
Okay, well, I'll take your word for that.
I don't mean say it was just loose up in the bag, you know. I mean say it was like
I'll take your word for it.
Everything was sealed up properly, but it would be in the bag, yeah.
Okay, I don't remember
that. And some of the Heinz tins them used to be dented or whatever, but you know. But if you're saying no, it didn't go so for you. No, it didn't go so for you. Yeah. So did you go to Oakfield? Where did you go?
What do you mean by Oakfield?
It was Oakfield was round the corner from you.
Well, the Heinz factory was in Harlesden, and there was another cities.
Yeah, what school did you go to then?
I went to Oakington Manor School.
Oakington Manor. Okay.
Yeah, in Wembley. Yeah, in Wembley. Yeah.
So what was that? Was that a junior school as well?
Yeah, that was a junior school. Yeah, so that was just round the corner from where I live. So that's at the bottom of Oakington Manor Drive in Wembley.
Okay. So then, how old was you when you guys moved from Roundwood Road?
Well, I don't remember that. We moved from 1960 to 63. We then moved to Purvis Road, and we stayed in Purvis Road for a year. My mum and dad bought a house in Purvis Road, then they wanted to move to Wembley. So we moved to Wembley. I think we actually moved the day that Cassius Clay won the World Heavyweight title. So we moved in February 1964.
Okay, because it was 63 was when I was actually born. So
yeah,
you know,
we've lived in Wembley since 1964.
See, even Trevor remembers the brown bag. This brother said he never get no brown bag, and Trevor. He said never get none. He never get none.
Don't remember no brown bag. Yeah.
He never get none. Maybe your mum took it out of the brown bag before you even saw it.
Could have done, but I don't remember no brown bag.
Either that or your sister got to the bag before you. Huh?
Yeah, I don't remember that. But I used to love my chocolate digestive biscuits. So I used to love them. Still do.
Evening, Tony. How you doing? Rudi Lickwood, big up Shaun for me. Tell him Tony Warren from is it
Leghorn Road?
Leghorn Road. You know Leghorn Road, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know Leghorn Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Tony Warren. Yeah.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, of course I do.
Because he actually said to me that he held me up. He took away my pocket money. I can't remember, but that's what he told me.
That doesn't sound like a thing that Tony Warren would do.
But I don't know why he said it.
Yeah, that's not the
Trust me. I don't know why
he was a nice kid growing up. So
is it?
Yeah, he was friends with my best mate Winston Davis. So
Okay.
they used to live on Leghorn Road in Harsden.
So he's not the sort of person you would have ended up representing, basically.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So let's talk about school. What was you like at school? Shaun?
I was a bright kid, but I was very, very chatty. My school reports are very, very dismissive of me. They say I would make a very good clown. Shaun talks a lot, so I used to dread bringing home my school reports. They weren't really good. But the one thing I did know what I wanted to be when I was a young boy growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer. Everybody has sort of dreams. I wanted to be a footballer, and wanted to be a spaceman, a sort of pilot. But I knew exactly what I wanted to be, and I wrote my first letter when I joined the secondary school in Copeland to the Bar Council, and I kept that letter as a source of inspiration. It was an adult letter I ever got back, so I knew what I wanted to be.
But you really struggled though when it came to actually passing exams.
Yeah, I had a sort of computer-like mind, but there's a difference between having a sort of photographic memory which can remember facts and figures, and now knowing how to actually answer those exams under the pressure of time. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote the autobiography, because people see me now, they think I'm a sort of a computer super brain who was born bright and born brainy and born clever, and it wasn't always like that. And I even failed O-level English 4 times. So I want people to realise that there are setbacks which you may encounter in your life, because life's not the sort of smooth sailing road that we like it to be. And to be honest, if you don't have those experiences, it doesn't shape and mould you as an individual or human being. So looking back, whilst it was devastating at the time, I'm sort of glad I had those experiences, because it basically taught me A, not to take things for granted, B, not to take what little talent you have for granted, and B, to really work hard to achieve what you want.
Because you said that you actually took it 4 times, and you ended up having to go to Hellstone at some point.
Yeah, because what educational standards were like, say 40 to 50 years ago. Teachers had a low expectation if you were black. They either expected you, as a black boy, to either work in a factory, drive buses, or worse, sadly, end up in the criminal justice system. And if you're a young black woman, they expected you to either work in a typing pool or end up pregnant, living in a high-rise council flat with about 1 million different children with different fathers. So they had a low expectation. They really did. And if you told them that you wanted to be a doctor, lawyer, or dentist, they just said, "You forget it." So
because that's what you was told when you was 14, isn't it?
Yeah, I was told that in no uncertain terms, and that's not nice to hear. That teachers have such a low expectation of your sort of life chances. But one thing I was determined to ensure that nobody was going to control my destiny, and the only way I could ensure that was to make sure I had an educated mind. And that's the message which I always try to espouse and sort of promote when I go into schools, colleges. On Thursday, I'm going into a prison all the way up in Lincolnshire, to talk to the inmates about my life, my career, and to basically tell them the important message that, okay, you may have a blot on your landscape, but it doesn't mean to say that you still can't make a productive use of your life and to society at large. And I think it's important that people like me, with the public profile that I have, tries to inspire the next generation.
I think, to be honest with you, I think that you're actually doing that in all honesty, because I mean, here's an image of you during Black History Month at some.
Yeah.
What school was you at here? Can you remember?
I can't. Listen.
Looks like Furnace.
I've been to so many schools. Even before I was in the public eye, I felt it was important that especially going into sort of deprived areas where there's a high concentration of Black and ethnic minorities, for them to basically see a black face, a black professional, and basically say, look, if you work hard, you can be like me. And it's important to have that message of that young people can climb up the ladder of opportunity. And it's important that people like me help them climb up that ladder. And it's important that people like me put that ladder down so that they can climb up.
Mm. But there's also all these other skills that are not taught at school that you have to learn along the way. I mean, you became a honorary doctorate in 2015.
Yeah, my university gave me an honorary doctorate for my sort of as a reward for the things I do in entertainment law and my efforts trying to going into the community, which it was a very, very proud moment. I could barely hold back the tears. I was so proud.
Yeah, but the thing is that even though you kind of like got there and you I mean, like you said, you had even this was a bit of a struggle for you. If I'm correct.
Getting to the bar, it wasn't easy.
I mean, tell us about that journey. Tell us about that journey.
Well, as I say, sitting the A levels were really, really difficult. And I remember, this time sort of, 41 years ago, when all my friends were going to university and I didn't get good enough grades, I thought my life was behind me. Because if you were like Muhammad Ali, like I was, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be the greatest. It seemed to be a hollow boast that I didn't walk the walk, even though I was talking the talk. So, eventually the penny did drop, and I got to do my degree. As I say, my undergraduate years, that's a rite of passage where you turn into a sort of young adolescent teenager into a man, But at the same time, you were juggling football. You were juggling sport. Yeah, because I could play. I was very, very good at football, and I basically told everybody that I was going to play alongside Cyril Regis and Gary Lineker at the 1986 World Cup. So yeah, but the thing is though, is that when you were a little bit, you was the last person to get picked. Yeah, it was.
You was the guy standing on the wall going, "Pick me, pick me."
No, I didn't say pick me, pick me. I didn't get picked, but when you're playing along such class footballers around my age, like Dale Banton, who played for West Ham United, right, and Selvin Campbell, who was one of my first footballing heroes and one of my best friends. Right. You've got to learn how to play football, by the time I was about 17 or 18, I was quite good, very good.
But even that was a struggle within itself, because getting into the first team was never easy for you.
No, it wasn't. But I had to prove myself, and banging in goals was the only way you can do that. But when I got to the age of 23, when I realised that coming to the end of my degree, was I really going to make the 1986 World Cup? No.
Yeah, but was you going to even really make the team at one point? It was a case of...
Yes, I thought. Yes, because I used to play a very good standard at college football. I played at semi-professional level.
Yeah.
I didn't break into the Hendon team. But I broke into teams like Southall, but by that time, law was more important. So by the time I was 23,
was it more important because the football didn't take off?
No, law was always important. I wanted to be like Ozzy Ardiles. Ozzy Ardiles won the World Cup in 1978. He was a qualified lawyer. So it showed me that you could combine the two. Steve Coppell graduated from a university with an economics degree. So it showed me that you could combine the two. So I had no difficulties in relation to that. But when it came to it, not making that breakthrough like I hoped I would, then obviously I needed to actually concentrate and focus on qualifying as a barrister, which was my life's ambition, and I did.
Yeah, I mean,
I played a very good standard of amateur football on Saturdays and Sundays, and I ended up winning 2 Cup winners' medals at Wembley Stadium football matches for my local Sunday side. So I've achieved what most footballers could only dream of, having 2 Cup winners' medals on the mantelpiece.
Well, I must admit, I put my foot on the Wembley turf a couple of times. I didn't actually kick a ball.
And I played on it.
I didn't actually kick a ball, but I did actually. In fact, I actually performed on there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually
So-
performed in Wembley Stadium, to be honest.
And those 2 cup winners medals were in my breast pockets on the night I won Mastermind. So
Okay,
yeah,
so you kind of held on to those like a little token, sort of like thing.
yeah, and you know,
was it to remind you? Was it to remind
no,
you?
no, you know, it was basically to show that you know you can win, and football was my main subject in Mastermind. So it was like you know, turning full circle, I suppose. Okay, I didn't play in the World Cup, but I became the first black person in the show's entire history to win Mastermind. So can't get a bigger accolade than that.
Yeah, okay. I'm not. No one's taking nothing away from you, bruv. No one's taking.
I'm sure you
no one's
are. I'm
taking
sure you're
nothing
not.
away from you. No one's taking nothing away from you. But my thing is that I'd like to sort of like go more into what it takes and what it is to be a barrister, because did I say the right word? Did I say it, barrister? I did say that, didn't I? Yeah. In terms of what it takes, because one of the biggest issues was because you moved around quite a bit, different tendencies, didn't you?
Yeah, different chambers. Yeah, because you know.
Tell us about the various different chambers.
Because normally, you know, back in the day, you know, when you got, it's very, very hard to try and get a tenancy, and that's not anything to do with the color of my skin. You know, law is a very, very competitive and fiercely competitive profession, and it was hard to try and get that breakthrough. So, really, really well, but the work dried up, and so sometimes you've got to basically move to different sets to try and get a consistency of work in order to forge and develop your career. And you know, that was happening to me throughout my career in the early years, and it was hard.
Because I often assumed, right, that once somebody became a barrister, yeah, that they'd literally just be rolling in money just all over you. But that wasn't the case with you. I mean,
it's not the case. It's not the case with most lawyers, and I mean that's a myth. Right. Especially if you do publicly funded work, which I did, like legal aid work. If you're doing work like commercial law and tax law, yeah, you can earn vast sums of money. But that's not the type of law I wanted to actually forge a career in. I wanted to be a criminal defense lawyer. And you know, with the sort of continuing cutbacks of publicly funded work, it's hard to earn this.
Isn't legal aid no longer there?
No, legal aid is there, but again, you know, even people applying for legal aid have got to jump through financial hoops in order to actually get legal aid, and even then, you've got to make a financial contribution. So it's not like how it was in the early 80s and 90s, where you know people could get free legal aid. And the sort of bad press that barristers got, that you know, we were so-called fat cat lawyers living off the sort of public purse. That's how
I envisioned you guys.
Yeah, it's a complete myth. It's a complete myth.
So then, what's the importance of a solicitor to a barrister?
Well, although the distinction is somewhat artificial now, a solicitor would instruct a barrister. Because the original distinction was that if you needed legal advice, you'd go to a high street solicitor. If you needed somebody to plead your case in court, then you'd go to a barrister. So, I mean, the distinction's really blurred nowadays because you do have solicitor advocates. But, you know, still barristers do still receive instructions from solicitors in order to actually get work.
Okay, because if I'm right, it was, I mean, when you were, when it was kind of like drying up and things were really sort of like on the line, because you did, both you and your brother said that you'd basically help your mum in terms of paying for the house.
No. Around that time, that's when things were really, really good. I mean, that was the time when you know, I went through a whole year without losing a single trial.
That's when that's when you more or less first started. Isn't it?
And you know, that was a way of sort of, you know, thanking my mum for, you know, all the hard work and sacrifice while bringing up 3 children. You know, even though my dad didn't live with me, the one advantage I had is I saw my dad virtually every week. Right. And I think it's important to have that sort of male role figure in your life. So, you know, that was a way of, you know, thanking my mum and dad, thanking my mum in particular. So that's why we bought her the house.
I think that's a lot of it. I think that's, I'm talking to the girls now. I think there's a lot of brothers out there who actually do that. And that is they're not. Some of them are not just at home because they're just being at home. Some of them are there because they're actually helping out financially to assist their mum. I mean, my parents broke up when I was 11 years old. Yeah, so I wouldn't say I went through the same thing. I went through a similar thing, sort of like thing, and it was a case of saying to myself, right. I remember when I was actually considering moving out to Newcastle. I don't know why Newcastle. It just came to my bloody head, right? And I opted not to, and I opted to help out my mum and purchase the house and all that kind of stuff, kind of like thing. And I think that there are a lot of brothers, especially who are single parent, tends to do that. But you're the first person I've actually heard say that.
Yeah. It was a proud moment. Of course it was.
Yeah, of course.
It was my way of saying thank you, Mum. You know.
But then let's talk about Rose. Is it Rosemary?
Yeah, she was from my clerk. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, she stepped in at a brilliant time for you.
Yeah. Sometimes you know, she was my senior clerk, and you know, we had a great relationship in terms of you know, a professional working relationship. Because, I think it's important never to mix business with pleasure. And you know, we had a fantastic working relationship. I mean, even now, she's currently in Jamaica, and we still keep in regular contact. And she's a dear friend of mine.
Because at one point in time, you were actually considering taking your practice out to Jamaica, wasn't you?
I was, yeah. When you know, and things were really sort of dire so far as what I thought, considering my career sort of, you know, slowly sinking into the abyss. You know, I did think about qualifying. And I got called to the Jamaican bar, but ostensibly I wanted to basically, you know, fight and try to make a career here, and that's what I've managed to do.
And that
so, you know, again, it's all about setbacks, how you deal with those setbacks, and how you know, sort of step back and analyze, you know, what's the way forward. Because, you know, trying to climb the top of that greasy pole, as I talked about, sometimes if you don't have the right grip, all you simply do is just slide to the bottom again. So.
Yeah, but you said that Jamaica was actually Plan B, if I'm correct, and
it was.
You ended up in Birmingham.
I ended up in Birmingham, and that, you know, again, that was part of the sort of nomadic existence I was having, sort of going from chambers to chambers, and you know, Birmingham didn't work out, and you know, when we got to 1999, I just basically had enough.
Because at one point you were going to give it up. You were.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I certainly was. That's when I started to grow my hair in my sort of rebellious phase. I had dreadlocks by my late 30s, and I had enough. But it was at that point I decided that, you know, because most of my days were then filled up by watching nothing more than daytime TV, and watching quiz shows, and that's how I got into it, really.
Right. But before that, you used to watch blockbusters and...
Yeah. As a little kid, I used to love watching University Challenge. I watched the very first Mastermind in 1972. It was in the graveyard shift at 10:45. And I was fascinated that, you know, people could go put themselves through, you know, answering very, very difficult questions. And I wanted to be like that. But as I say, you know, it's easy sitting in the comfort of your sofa. And I wanted to see how good I was. So that's why I put myself forward.
But that's why, you know, because you said that, you know, at that time you spent a lot of time at home.
Yeah.
And that's where your mate, that's why I mentioned Nipper.
Because he was a good mate of mine. Because he, you know,
I mean, you used to go around to his house and just go in there and just not force him, but literally coerce him
to play 15-1. Yeah,
play 15-1, innit?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, after a while, you know, I set him a target. I set myself a target.
I used to give him like 30 points and still come up and trash him.
Yeah. So, you know, it's all well and good me. So it's all well and good me taking someone like Nipper on, but the true test is how good you really are. So that's why I decided to enter the world of TV quizzes.
But then the thing is that you started to question your own procrastination.
Yeah, and you know what they say about procrastination is a thief of time, and if you don't do it, you'll never do it. So hence the reason why I decided to see how good I was. So I started doing shows like 15-1, The Weakest Link. So
the first time that you did 15-1, tell us about that experience.
Well, that's when I sort of took 6 weeks of work, read 27 encyclopedias, thought I was invincible. And I was so arrogant that I thought that all I had to do was to turn up to win. and I was the first person to get knocked out. That's not actually 15-1 there. That's the weakest link.
Sorry.
And it taught me a big lesson actually. Firstly, never overestimate your own abilities, and secondly, never underestimate your opponents. So I learned a big lesson there.
Yeah,
So the next image, the image you just put up there, that's when I did the Champions League weakest link.
This is the champion, yeah.
Yeah, this was they put me in the Champions League edition.
Okay.
Not the normal daily one, but they used to have a sort of Champions League midweek. Because the only reason they did that is because when I did the audition, I virtually got every question right, and they said, "Well, we want to see how good you really are." So in that one there, I got the first 11 questions right. I got the next 3 wrong, and obviously you're going to see the image now of me doing the Walk of Shame. Yeah, that's me in the sort of queen.
That's you. That's you. Like you're the Prince of what? Wembley, the Prince of Wembley, or the Prince of Kensal Rise with that haircut.
I don't know about that.
That haircut, man. What's going on there?
Well, because usually I used to have my hair in sort of spiky dreadlocks, but I couldn't get hold of my hairdresser that day, so it was just a quick trip to the barbers, and I had sort of Will Smith style, flat top style haircut.
Yeah, definitely. But I've never heard of this show though. Believe it or not, I never actually saw.
Yeah, that only lasted for one series in the sort of spring of 2001, where the object was to try and win £1 million.
Because that show was called Greed.
But
if I'm
the
right.
only way you could do it was to try and be. Yeah,
what was
Greed, with Jerry Springer.
It was called Greed. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it was called Greed. The whole object was to try and win £1 million.
And
well, the whole object was to try and knock your opponents out. Well, there was a series of questions whereby the first part of the show was that you had 6 contestants and somebody had to be immediately knocked out. And they asked you an archaic question, for example, and the question they asked me was how many golf courses were in Scotland? And the person who was closest to the answer would be the team leader, and that was the most important position to be in. Okay. Then the next person would sit in the £25,000 seat, so on and so forth, right down to the £5,000 seat. So then you'd have a series of questions. £5,000 question would be, for example, what colour do Chelsea play in? Red, white, blue, or green? And once the person gave the answer, it was for the team leader to ask whether or not that was correct. And if that was right, then you shared the money. So once you got up to the £50,000, the team leader decided whether or not either to take the money, we split the money amongst ourselves, or you then got the Tower of Greed trying to win £1 million. And the way in which that would work is that there would be a light which would dot around. Whoever it landed on, Jerry Springer would offer them £5,000 to challenge somebody for their share of the money.
Whoa!
So in that series, we got up to £250,000, and that was the highest that was the highest win in the show's history. And I was a team leader, so I won 50 grand for myself. One girl won 160 grand.
So what, Shaun? Can I get a loan? Bro?
That went. First thing I did was lend that money to my brother because he needed to buy a house. So I lent him 40 grand.
Okay.
Because if the shoe was in underfoot, he would have done the same thing to me.
Well, he actually did help you at one point.
When I had nothing. Yeah.
He loaned you £1,000, if I'm correct.
Yeah, exactly. And I talk about the fact that sometimes my brother was the sort of good-looking, slick version of the Wallace clan. And I used to wear his hand-me-up suits. So I remember when I was going through my hard times, my brother was there for me. And there he is. That's my dad on his 80th birthday. So, yes, that's Steve.
Okay. Because the thing is that, was it before your pupillage or whatever it is? Did I pronounce that correctly? Pupillage?
Yeah, pupillage, yeah.
Before your pupillage, or was it after? You went to South America?
No, I went to I went to South America.
You went to Jamaica first?
Yeah, I went to Jamaica. No. I'd done my pupillage one, and I was a tenant, so I was a practicing tenant. But I wanted to take a 3-month sabbatical, so I went to Jamaica with my best mate for the very first time. The first time I went to Jamaica in 1988/9. Then when I came back,
but what happened? What happened during that? What happened within that period of time?
Oh, well, my mate basically abandoned me. My so-called best friend abandoned me. So another friend of mine was over there, luckily, at the same time. So, you know, we toured Jamaica. So that was fantastic. Got to meet my grandfather for the first time, my grandmother for the first time. Then when I came back from Jamaica, I was supposed to start my tenancy at this New Chambers, but my mates were in Brazil at the time, and they were at the Rio Carnival. So I flew over to the Rio Carnival and just had a brilliant time.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? You was out there fishing. Yeah,
that's me. That's me in the Amazon, up the Amazon there.
Yeah, caught a big fish, bruv.
We cooked it. We cooked that fish that night. We ate that fish that night. It was fantastic.
So what was you doing on the beach, bruv? What was you doing out on the beach? That's what I want to know. What was you doing?
Having a good time with this sort of lovely Brazilian senoritas. You can see me there in that pitch there.
Center of attention.
Yeah, exactly. And
no idea where your keys were, though. No idea where your keys were.
Yeah, and they fell out of my pocket, and I ended up missing my flight. So yeah, you know, I tell that story because it was quite a sort of funny tale.
It is quite a funny tale, considering that they had to break in. They had to break into the
surf. Yeah, it cost me $200 American. Yeah, taught me a big lesson. You know what I mean? Don't get distracted.
Yeah, because you were definitely distracted there.
Absolutely,
partying, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was proper partying, man.
Yeah.
You know, but it's kind of weird. Not weird, but it's kind of funny the way that things kind of like happen. It's like when a door appears to be closing, even though it's not closing. And then, you know, your obvious interest in quiz shows. You know, because Ainsley Harriott, all right, he's a stand-up comic. I met him in the Comedy Store. We used to do comedy in the Comedy Store, right? But his thing was food. He loved cooking food, right? And the door that opened up for him was not one of comedy per se, but it was actually cooking food on TV.
Yeah,
you know. And for you, it was about for the quiz. So you ended up getting on the quiz circuit. That's what happened with you there, yeah?
Yeah.
Because here's another game that I did not see on TV.
Yeah, that was in the 2001. That show was called A Waiting Game with Ruby Wax. So my friend there, I was on Heather. Me and her went to school together, and that was a great show to be on. And tried to
what was the premise? What was the premise of that game?
To try and knock your opponents out by answering questions. In the first round, we had to swap places in terms of answering questions. So we got to the semi-final, and because of my sort of overconfidence, I'd say, I wasn't concentrating, and we got knocked out. So that was very, very disappointing, to say the least.
Oh, God. And then the Eggheads came along.
No, the Eggheads was the last one. No, the Eggheads was then the next show I did was I did a couple of pilots.
What pilots did you do?
There's a show called 52. It was like a card quiz game show that never got showed. Then I did a show called Nobody Likes a Smart Ass that lasted a week. That was with Joe Brand as the host.
Okay.
Then I did Beat the Nation with Tim Brooke Taylor and Graham Garden. And in 2004, I applied for Mastermind.
Okay. And you was quite an integral part of Mastermind while they were piloting it, I believe.
No, I wasn't. No, not at all. Mastermind had gone off the air in 1997.
Okay.
Then they were looking for you're confusing that with The Chase, and I'll talk about that.
I just realized. Yeah.
And I always wanted to do Mastermind, and when they brought it back in 2003, and again my career was going through a bit of a doldrum at the time, and I remember seeing the champion holding up the trophy, and I was basically dreaming and saying, I wish that could be me. And this time I didn't allow procrastination to get the better of me, and I applied, and I was the first black person to apply in the show's 36-year history at the time, and I ended up winning it.
I used to think to myself that one of the reasons why a lot of black people didn't enter was that the culture, the questions seemed to be culturally biased. Is that fair to say?
No, I disagree with that, because general knowledge general knowledge is not culturally biased. No information is useless. Information is different. You've got to have an appreciation of, general science. Biology is not culturally biased. History may be culturally biased, but if you know your history, you know your history. Subjects what you're taught at school are not culturally biased. They're factually based. Either you know what a chemical element is, or you don't. You know what the laws of physics are, or you don't. And as a kid, I was really, really interested in things like that. And as I entered into the sort of world of quizzing, I developed my all-round knowledge in different areas.
Because you said that it was by looking at what you didn't know is what expanded your...
Yeah, exactly. What you don't know, I remembered. And the more you practice, the luckier you get. And that's how I, eventually started to win quiz shows. And that's what helped me win Mastermind.
But how is it then? How is it then that you train your mind to behave like a Rolodex?
I don't. I train my mind because I'm interested in what I'm learning, and being a barrister helps in terms of you're trained to prepare, you're trained to think on your feet, you're trained to react under pressure, and you're trained to try and be fearless. So, sitting in quiz shows or doing quiz shows, I had that added advantage of being a trained barrister.
Okay. Is that why the fact that you'd have to the lights, the sound, the audience, you was already accustomed to playing to an audience of sorts?
No, it's not accustomed to playing to an audience of sorts. I'm accustomed not to. Yeah, everyone's nervous. Of course, I get nervous like everybody else, but you learn to how to control your nerves, and you learn to be fearless. You learn to be confident in your own ability, and that's a tribute to my training as a barrister.
Did that confidence come when you did like your first Crown Court case where it came to a murder trial? Did that because there's something
obviously when you first start out, you're not sort of when you come off the conveyor belt and you're a qualified barrister, no one's going to give you your first murder trial. And practice. The more you practice, the more confident you become in your ability. But there's no substitute for preparation. The more you prepare and have your client's interests at heart at all times, then you become more and more proficient as a barrister.
Because there is a question here that's been asked of you. Althea Hamilton says, "Good evening, Shaun. Was there a pivotal case you wish you had the opportunity to preside over?"
No, because I'm not a judge. So there's no pivotal case that I would want to preside over. I'm a barrister, so I'm happy with the way in which my career has sort of developed. Because, like all barristers who start out, you've got to start out from the bottom, and you've got to sort of work your way to the top in terms of the quality of type of cases that you have. So,
okay, and so it wasn't much of an issue then, you juggling being a barrister and then having to being able to take the time out to go and do these quiz shows?
No, because I'm self-employed, so if you don't work, you don't earn. So the one thing about my profession as a barrister is that I am self-employed and I can stay in control of my own destiny.
Because I did realise that on several occasions, every time you left a tenancy, it was like, oh boy, I've got to pay X amount of rent or whatever.
Yeah, if I had any rent to pay out once I left, and I had to pay it. So, but by and large, I was left on those chambers. I did leave on very good terms. So it just wasn't working out for me in terms of where I wanted to see my career going.
Okay. So can I ask then how because now that we'll talk about the chase now, because now that you've actually done the chase, has that changed anything?
No. Changed nothing. No. All it's basically given me a higher profile, which I'm grateful for. It's taken me around the world. I work in New Zealand, I work in Australia, I've done the Australian version of the chase. But it hasn't changed me ostensibly as a person. Fame hasn't changed me.
No, I don't mean change. I don't mean you, the person. I mean the way like you mentioned the clerks, yeah, and how important it is for them to. Is it they push your work your way? And
Yeah.
and solicitors push work your way?
Yeah. Are you saying that
That's-
it has much?
Yes.
Has that changed because of more fame?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Right.
Not really. Because even before I became, I was doing some really good quality trials. So no. It now allows me to pick and choose when I want to do cases, because obviously I do have a TV career alongside my legal career.
Okay.
So I can afford to be choosy, I suppose. And it's a good
Okay.
position to be in.
Okay. Yeah, that's because I would have thought it would have had some sort of.
No, just because of the fact that I'm on television doesn't mean to say that I should get all the best cases. No.
No,
I've got to earn my stripes. I'm only as good as my last closing speech. I'm only as good as the last case I prepared for. Well, no better, no worse. So that's what makes sure.
But now they know exactly who Shaun is, though.
Everybody knows Shaun Wallace is for the last 20 years. So that's going. I'm not saying that clients don't ask me because of who I am.
Right.
That does happen. But ostensibly, the work hasn't changed because of the fact that I'm more in the public eye. No, I disagree with that.
Okay. Well, it wasn't. I wasn't. I'm just asking, really. And
yeah, and I think I told you.
So the so the big change then came once you won the Mastermind.
Yeah, of course. Being the first black person, the fuss that the BBC, the public, the media made was fantastic, because it demonstrated that black people have a greater talent than being musicians and being sportsmen.
Athletes.
Yeah, it showed that we have the intellectual capacity, just like our white counterparts. And I'll never forget, I was quoted today in a Times newspaper when they asked me, what do you think the effect my win would have on my community at large? And I said, so far as black people are concerned, it's the equivalent of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon.
Right. No, I could agree with that, because I like the way that you champion it. Even when you talk about it, you champion it in a way that people from my cultural background anyway can better understand.
Our cultural background, because we're from the same cultural background, not our.
Yeah, I do mean our when I say that, because I know that there's going to be loads of different people who's going to see this at some point. So I didn't want them to feel that they were excluded in any kind of a way,
Okay.
but to understand that I am referring to being as a black person, right? Because you speak about it as if to say you were a boxer and you're going to win, and anything is possible if you kind of like put your mind to it.
Of course it is. You do need a bit of luck. Everybody needs a bit of luck, but you've got to have confidence in your own ability that your talent will get you the result you desire.
So when the chase came your way, was that by accident, or was that just being in the right place at the right time?
Well, after I won Mastermind, I retired for 4 years. I stopped quizzing. That was it, really. Then in 2008, the BBC were looking for a new Egghead, and they contacted me. I turned them down 3 times, and they got the executive producer to contact me, and I reluctantly decided to take part. And I got all the way to the grand final. And I was the only contestant who had to play the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final all in one day, because I was still doing my court work. I could hardly say to a judge, "Oh, by the way, Your Honour, I've got to go and do a quiz show. You would have told me where to get off."
Right.
So, when I lost, it was very, very disappointing. And that's why I wrote the book. And that's why my story, Chasing the Dream, tells my life story within the hour of listening to Steely Dan's greatest hits. And that's why I sort of reflected when I was sitting in the car park of the BBC, reflecting where it all went wrong. And that's when I basically thought about my life. So I thought it would make a really good story for people to read.
Okay.
So after that, I was then contacted in the autumn of 2008 by ITV. They were looking for somebody to help persuade an ITV commissioning panel of this exciting new game show concept. They asked me 30 questions. I got 28 out of 30. They said, "What am I doing quiz-wise?" I said, "I've retired." I said, "Oh, by the way, they're showing my performances on Are You an Egghead?" And they said, "How do you do?" I said, "I'm not telling you. Watch that as my audition." And I left. And when they showed me losing the grand final to Barry there, as you can see, The following day, I was in front of an ITV commissioning panel. So I'm the world's first chaser.
You are the first chaser.
Yeah, the world's first chaser. All the chasers all the way around the world all come from me. So I was working on that show for 4 months by myself. They brought in the Beast. We then went up to Manchester, the old Granada studios, to do the pilot.
Yeah, I've been there.
And 12 years later, 3 spin-offs later, here we are. And I'm very, very grateful, because the reason why the show is a success is because people watch it. And I will never, ever, I could never, ever express my gratitude to the public for making the show and making me more and more in the public eye by virtue of them watching it.
But Bradley Walsh wasn't the first host, was he?
He was the original host. He wasn't the person who did the pilots or the run-throughs. I'm not going to name who that person was, but it would suffice it to say that he was so wooden, he'd make Sherwood Forest look animated. But that's me and Bradley.
What's your relationship like with Bradley?
Very good, very, very good. I'm 2 days older than him. And you know, he basically intimated the nature of the relationship we have is fantastic in comparison to other trade, because we've got similar upbringing. He grew up in Watford. I grew up in Wembley. You know, we were basically guys who never realised. You know, he sacrificed being a footballer because he wanted to be an entertainer. And the one thing both Bradley and I have in common is this. We both would recognise that there are people who are far more talented than us, but when we had our opportunity, we grabbed it. And the message which I always say to people is this: you know, always make sure you put your best foot forward in life, because you never know who's watching you, and you still need that.
You never know, innit? You never.
Yeah, you still need that bit of luck. You still need that bit of luck to actually take you to the next stage.
So what was the theme this night or that?
Yeah, we were just up as you know, we were doing. I think it was #1 artist. They said to me, "I'm going to be Elvis Presley." Okay. So you know, I had a great giggle. I came out trying to impersonate Elvis. Next thing you know, I broke out into a Liverpudlian accent. So
oh dear, because you don't mind having a little giggle on the show, do you?
Yeah, I'm just being myself. You know what I mean? You know, that's why the show's such a success, I suppose, because people are being themselves.
And who were you here?
The Mona Lisa.
I thought so, because I did think to myself when I looked at it, I go, "There's no oil painting."
No, of course not.
Oh God! So here's the gang.
Yeah, there's 6 of us now.
There's 6 of you now.
Yeah, so obviously the new guy, Dara the Menace Ennis, has joined. So he's been a welcome addition. He used to be a contestant, and it's you know, great that somebody from the contestant ranks could become a chaser.
So here you're picking up on you guys picking up on an award here.
Yeah, we won that. Yeah, so I've got an award downstairs. I've got my own personal NTA. So because we've won it 3 times, so they gave me my own personal one. So that's nice. And that's my boss, who I've got my arm around. So he's the main exec producer.
So that means you learned how to network. Then you learned how to snooze in the end.
Not really, because when it comes to showbiz parties, I leave after a while. It's not my people.
Yeah.
Don't have to stay. Yeah. I'm not a kiss ass type, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to change now.
But I mean, I could have mentioned it earlier, but you know, because those were the skills I was making reference to when I said that when we leave school, we're not taught about networking.
No,
we're not taught about how to create those relationships that have a lasting effect, because a lot of the people who pulled you out of certain situations were people who you had already met back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those
are the friends I keep now.
Yeah.
I know showbiz people. Yeah, I can sort of walk amongst commoners and kings, but home is where the heart is.
Yeah.
So I know who's who. I know people who've got my back, and that's how it's going to remain.
Right. So you're getting some round of applause here. Shaun is still a down to earth guy. Samantha's giving you a nice little round of applause.
Thank you.
In fact, she's actually saying that the book itself is a good read.
It's a must read, I think.
And I
Because people can identify with it, I think.
Yeah, I must admit that it's kept me gripped. Watching it. I mean, reading it. Okay, and people, if you really want to get hold of it, this is the link that you sent to me.
That's not the link I sent to you.
That not the link? Oh, that's Beckles'. Hold on. Let me get the link. Because the book is available now, you know. Wait, hold on. One sec. Twitter. Well, I'm just looking for the link that you sent me. I thought Shaun inbox. One second. Oh, damn it, man.
Never mind, anyway.
No, well, the thing is that the book is where they can get the book from Amazon.
I think so, but I've got a publisher called Cranthorpe Milner. So if you go to my publishers, www.cranthorpemilner.com, you can get the book. And if you order it and you want me to sign it, I'll simply sign it.
Okay, let me do this then, just so that people can actually get hold of it. www. It's Milner. Is it all one word? Yeah.
Milner, THORPEMILLNER.com.
Yeah. There you go.
That's it.
Yeah. So they can get the book from there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I would actually say it is a very good read in actual fact, because what I did is I got my daughter to read the first 4 chapters actually. Just because she's just come out of school and she's now going into college. She's now going into college. Just to let her know that it's not an easy thing to do, and so long as you do actually put your mind to it, even though the chaser had to do it several different times, he still managed to get to where he wanted to get to.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's what I want people to be inspired by. That don't believe that your future's behind you because you've had one setback in your life. Your future's always in front of you. And if you've got people who've got your best interests at heart, are going to help you through your journey, ultimately you got to want to walk that journey. But as I said in the book, the preface, no man's an island, and I'm not going to stand there and basically say that I've done it all by myself. I had people who supported me, people who encouraged me, but ultimately I needed to do it for myself because it would never get done anyway.
Yeah, it is all down to the individual at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but not everybody knows what they want to do.
No, they don't. Sometimes you've got to find your own niche in life, but when you do find it, then wholeheartedly commit to it.
Okay. Still haven't figured out. Shut up, man. Trevor's having a pop at me. Nella's in the room. Good evening, Nella. Viv Rose has said, "We are proud of you, Shaun."
Thank you.
You're getting a big round of applause here today.
Yeah, when I leave here now, I've got to go and do some revision because I've got a big quiz tomorrow. And I've got a big Black History Month event I've got to prepare for. So it never stops for me. Okay.
I love the fact that Shaun hasn't let fame change him and is still an inspiration to the community. Well, he's still out in the community. He still goes out and he still sees the kids. He goes into the prisons and he talks to the youth them in Dessa, so he makes himself available. And I'm going to show you something.
I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you this. Can you see that?
I can, yeah.
Right? Do you know when I got this?
No.
Okay. Do you remember teaching in Acton?
Yes, I do.
Teach, right?
Yeah.
Myself and Jeff Schumann, you taught us business law.
I can't remember that fact because I've taught over 3,000 students in my career, but...
Well, you taught me, my friend.
Okay.
And I was awarded this certificate afterwards.
Okay,
and
that's brilliant.
And I keep it on my wall, and I actually keep it on my wall. It's a community college certificate.
Yeah, I used to teach at community college. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
with fond affection. Yeah,
that I received, and it was you who taught. I remember Balfour versus Balfour.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So that's why it was like I was saying, I know you, Shaun. I know you, Shaun. And he's like, huh? I was like, yeah.
No, it's because, as I say, I've taught so. I used to teach at Hackney College. I've taught at various other places, and for me, it's important to try and inspire the next generation by, teaching them words of wisdom. And
okay. Junie Joseph is saying, hello, NJ, how you doing? I love your quote from Jeremy Vine's show, always remain in control of your own destiny, and the only way you can do that is through education.
Yeah, educate your mind. Yeah.
Education. Right, ladies and gentlemen, is there any questions you would like to ask Shaun? I can see that he's flagging and he's ready to go now.
Yeah,
so
I've got to go.
We're not going to hold on to him anymore. He's thinking about the fact that he's got to go and study.
Yeah,
do, so we thank you for taking the time out to be with us. Yeah. And we really do appreciate everything that you're doing. And wish you more success, bro.
Thank you. And we'll continue to do.
Thank
you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done, Shaun. Glad you made time to be on Rudi's show.
Thank you, mate. It's an honor and a privilege.
I'm happy you shared your story with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you do go out, get the book. Like I said, it's a good read. I'm not just saying it, because when you look at it, you can see that I've read it. You can actually see that I've read it. Yeah, I've actually read it. Yes, I've actually read it. Took me 3 weeks, by the way, but I read it. It's a solid read. I'm not gonna lie. It's a solid read. Yeah. So make sure you guys do that. So Shaun, bruv,
thank you, mate. Yeah,
bruv, we're gonna allow you to depart.
Thank you.
Right? But before I let you go, I want you to go out to, whether them lot can hear it or not, this tune, yeah. It's a bad tune. Every man has an equal right to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And because you're a defense, you're mainly defense, aren't you?
Exclusively defense.
You're exclusively defense, know. And is that fair to say, because of the injustice that you see going on within the community?
One of the reasons why, but I've always preferred to defend. Okay.
Yeah, but in football, it's always attack with you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, especially with my team.
Okay. All right then, Shaun. Thanks for your time, bruv.
Take care, bro. Thank you.
Nice one. Okay, so that was Shaun, man. Shaun the man, as they say. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Actually, it was well worth talking to. There is the website details if you want to get hold of his book, because I'm sure that he genuinely wants people to get hold of it and read it. Join me next week. Please join me next week. I will have Josephine Melville, who is part of the BB crew. Yeah. Watch out for the stories that I'll put up on Facebook and Instagram, and because you know who the BB crew is, believe it or not. But I'd much rather you see throughout the week exactly who they are. They are responsible for most of the black theatre that you have seen up and down the country. Most of the sellout shows that you mostly have been to, one or two of the members would have been in it. Yeah. So I will be interviewing Josephine Melville, a stunning, absolutely stunning young lady. In fact, I'll show you just exactly how stunning she really is. Let me just wait. What I'm gonna do? What you gonna do, Rudi? What you gonna do? Wait, I want to remove that. Let me delete that. Let me go and get you a picture of who she is. Right. And I think you will agree. She is absolutely stunning. And you also know Roger Griffiths as well. The man that she's standing next to. He was in Chef with Lenny Henry. All right. But that is Josephine Melville. She will be with us next week, talking about her journey, which is quite an interesting one, considering that she's an actress, she's a producer, she's a writer, she's a director, she is a creative practitioner, event organizer, and you've more than likely seen her in EastEnders and various dramas. All right. So, yeah, tune in. I think it'll be another enjoyable interview. All right. So please do share this. I do need you guys to share it. It's important that you share it. If not in your WhatsApp groups or your Facebook groups, tell a friend. Tell a mate. All right. Oh, God. I'm catching cramp. Damn. I'm catching. Oh. God damn it, man. Right. I think it's time oh, God, I've got cramp. Jesus Christ. Right, where is this? It's time that I let you go. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week and have a good week, people. Moi moi. Wait on. There we go.
Hi, I'm Josephine Melville.
There she is.
Monday talking to Rudi Lickwood on his Keeping It Real chat show. See you then.